Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to our weekly spin into stillness, our evening meditation. I'm Reverend Robin Nashak, aka the Spiritual Spinister, and I welcome you to our time each week that we carve out for ourselves to relax, to go inside, and to really listen to what that inner voice is telling us about who we are, and we begin to inquire about who we are by setting an intention. So it's a very simple process. We're going to take the next few seconds to reflect on what our intention might be for this meditation for the week. And we're going to write it down. And then we are going to draw an oracle card, which is going to help us put a little more information to that inquiry that we've made to our deep self. And then we're going to meditate and listen to what it all has to say, or how it's all coming together. So let's start with the intention part. Now, I have always encouraged us to write our intentions down. I think it's important uh, to give voice and to actually state what we are looking for out loud, to write it down, to be specific, to really have thought about why we're here, why we are doing what we do here. And if it's to learn more information, well, what information are we looking to know? And then we write them down, because if we were in person, we would write them down, hold them in our palm during meditation. We would, you know, give that intention energy, allow it to kind of unfold for us inside to hear what that inner voice is saying. And then we would gather these little slips of paper, just like this is just construction paper, or heavy. This is heavy. Actually, this is heavier copier paper. So I would gather these, and then we would send them off into the flames. We have a bowl where we burn, and once they are in the flames, we let go of that attachment to that intention. So it's important to set that intention, but it's also important to not hold on to it too tightly. And we symbolically let go of that attachment by dropping little slips of paper into the flames. So, since we're not all together, I will write two intentions down. I'm going to write one for me, and then I'm going to write one that says everyone's intentions. And so it's mine, then thrown in with yours, and yours by proxy with this little slip of paper. And they will burn together as part of the community that we are gathering as this evening. And then you can explore for the rest of this week and for the beginning of next week how your intention unfolded now that you stated it and let it go. So let's start with this first part now. Let's if you don't have a little slip of paper because you're new, don't worry about it. What you want to do is maybe just, pretend to write it on your hand, or, mime it on your hand, so that you can still do the action. You can still be specific and give that intention some voice by just kind of stating it and knowing what you're stating. So let's do that now. So you write. I'm going to put you just a little on hold here while I look for my pen, which is behind my camera. And we're back. So are you writing that intention? I'm writing mine. So I've written my intention just here. And I've written everyone's intentions. This is everyone's intention. I don't know if you can see there's a little bit of glare there, but it's there. So you hold yours in the palm of your hands while you meditate. Send energy there, send me energy from it, and I will gather it all in this little proxy one here before we send it off into the flames. All right, so that was part one. Part two is the fun part. We're going to draw a card. We're going to draw an oracle card from this wonderful deck called the Star Codes Astro deck. Again, you know I love this deck. We've been on it for more than a year. And the reason I like it is because it's accessible, it's easy, it's fun, and I like how it incorporates the artwork and the message and the corresponding information about that message based on astrology. So I can tell you a little bit more about it when we draw, but we draw this card. You don't have to believe in the mystic nature of the cards, but if you think of the cards as a creative prompt, as a way of kind of jogging something in you, of getting you to think about something, your intention in a new way or in a more expanded way, give you a new perspective on how you might be open to that intention coming to fruition, to becoming manifest. So the intention coupled with the card, and then our listening to the reading of the book about the card, and then the private reflection about all of it is how we roll here on our Wednesday evening spin into stillness. So I'm going to shuffle the card. I used to draw the top card, but I've decided that I'm going to do a little differently, and I'm going to shuffle, and then I'm just going to hold up the card that's on the bottom of the deck so that I'm not drawing at all. I'm literally shuffling them. And then when we're done shuffling, you see that I'm going to hold up that bottom card. This is last week's card, Juno. So once I shuffle, and while I shuffle, I can give you just some housekeeping things. Remember, we are all in our respective personal spaces. So you might want to get comfortable, but you also want to make sure that you are able to kind of be awake and aware while we are meditating, especially so that you don't fall asleep, which is a possibility. And don't worry, if that happens, chances are you'll be like in a meditative sleep. You won't be fully zonked out. But if you can be alert and be able to have a conscious conversation with your inner voice and your deep self, that would be very, very helpful, I think, and allow you to remember some things as you move through your week. Also, like, subscribe, do all the things. Please like wherever you're watching this video. Do it right now. I'm telling you right now, so you can remember to do it right now. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the page that you are watching this on, either the YouTube page or my Facebook pages, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed on the respective other pages, if you are on Facebook but you haven't subscribed to the YouTube page, do that. It helps. It helps to have more. We're building a community again, trying to really share the word about our own sense of peace, our own personal responsibility in coming up with a sense of peace, because it has to begin with us. We can't expect the craziness of the world, which is at war in several ways and in several places, to start there. We can't look at other places or other people that are managing or leading and say, why can't we get along? Why can't we do this? If we can't do it at the space that we are in personally. So I highly encourage us to keep that peace, to claim responsibility for how we are feeling and responding to everything around us, and then meditating on it. All right, so I'm about to let you know what that bottom card is. quite a bit now. All right, so our card for this week is, I'm going to hand it up and then we'll read more about it. It is Cancer. Yes. And the message is immerse. I think this is our first time with the Cancer card. Interesting. Interesting. So this does not mean that this is a message just for people who are Cancers. This is a message for everyone from Cancer, from the archetype of the zodiac. So our message is immerse. So this is not for those who want to stand on the sidelines of their unfolding of their journey. This is about being in the game, immersing ourselves, doing it. If we're going to do it all and do it with intention and with tenacity. Immerse. And again, I think this is the first time we've drawn the Cancer card. So again, we're moving through the cards now. Cancer is symbolized by a crab who asks us to dive deep into the sea of emotion and come back home again. The crab always carries its protective shell, however. This moon-ruled cardinal water sign signifies nutrition in and out of the body and is connected to the stomach. The sun shines here June 21st through July 22nd. The action of this card: be the emotional leader and connect with the parent archetype. If you're in need of parenting yourself, reach out to the Divine Mother and Father, to the earth beneath the sky above, and feel held. Once you feel fed by spirit, it becomes easier to accept the ordinary human limitations of the people around you. If you're called to parent others in this situation, whether in love or in work, do so with a balanced approach of honest feedback and support and self-care. Nurture without enabling. Model what you want others to do. Nourish the connections with your chosen family and tribe. Nourish bodies, gardens, communities, and your temple's hearth. Cancer calls us to deepen our relationship to home, but not to get stuck in this protective shell. If you need more out of life, you'll have to leave this safety to find what you need. Find a home base or a safe place within your soul, and from that safety, be ready to brave exploration and risk caring with all of your heart. The challenge of this card: crabs are hard on the outside, but soft and squishy on the inside. Remember that the very defenses you think will keep you safe may actually keep important people out. Soften your shell. You have a backbone and are not protected solely by an exoskeleton. The gift of this card: be aware of the psychic pool in which you float. If you feel tossed by the waves or battered by the anxiety of those around you, dive down deeper and find the calm below. This is what we do here each week. We dive down deeper to find that calm below. Float in the ocean of collective consciousness and feel cradled, nurtured by the Divine Mother, fed and cuddled. So it's all about immersion. But this immersion really is about feeling safe and protected, which is then going to lead us to feel empowered to do what we must do for our own lives. We get that safety, we find a base, we find that wonderful, warm embrace that strengthens us and nourishes us, and then we go and do what we need to do. So this card is also about nourishment. We immerse ourselves, but we have to nourish our bodies. We have to nourish our spirit. That's why we're meditating. That's why we may choose to eat right, or eat at least more healthily, or to choose to be active in places that we weren't. We also want to choose the adult, emotionally mature way of interacting with people, of being in relationship with others. So avoiding conflict may seem like it's a way to avoid conflict, but it only brings us to more inner conflict. And that's never helpful. So nourishment and immersion and really realizing that we are part of something that is much, much greater always. All of these cards have some element of relationship to them. They're all about finding ourselves, finding our community, and then finding out what we do best to contribute to this community, to contribute to our responses to this community, and doing it. Most importantly, when we get the knowledge, what do we do with it? We need to actually use it. We need to put it to good use. So, mini sermon for the day on the cuff. Let's get comfortable. We are going to meditate now. We are going to go deep. We're going to think about the card that we just watched, that we listened about. We're going to think about the intention that we've set, and we're going to put it all together in a meditation. And that meditation is a very intensely personal one. We may have all drawn the Cancer card together, but how it is in response to our respective individual intentions is unique. So now that we're all set, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. We're going to keep our eyes open for the first 2. On that third one, we're going to allow our eyes to gently flutter closed. And then we're going to go deep. But we want to always remember that our breath is what holds us here. We are very much, for the most part, unconscious about our breathing throughout the day. But before we go into this meditation, we just want to reassure ourselves that that breathing is there, that it is working, and that it is our tether. It is our tether as we traverse the ethereal space together. Our breathing is what's holding us to our material world, because we're going to try to let go of it temporarily for a few minutes together. So, with that in mind, we're going to inhale through our nose, hold for a moment, pause, exhale nice and slowly, and then pause again at the end of the exhale. 3 times together, then we'll do it on our own. Let's breathe in and hold and exhale. And hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale slowly. And hold. And finally, inhale again. And hold. Exhale slowly. Let your eyes flutter closed. The card will remain up for you to gaze at if you need to, or just check in with the card to remember the images. Maybe look more closely at it. And we're going to have our breathing return to a natural and comfortable state, because we're going to go into our imagination. So as we breathe deeply with intention, we're going to begin to relax our body, release tension, both physical, mental, and emotional, as we take our little journey together. Breathing deeply, assessing in your body with your mind where there might be tension, and then just allowing that tension to completely dissipate and disappear. And as we relax more and more, we're going to take a little journey into our minds. And we're going to imagine ourselves inside the depths of an ocean. And we're just starting out on this scuba-like journey, but we are not in need of special equipment. We are here in our minds. We are here as the non-physical part of ourselves, imagining ourselves in an alternate space, in a non-physical space that echoes a physical space that we already know, inside the ocean. We don't have to worry about breathing because we can do whatever we want here. We can breathe in this beautiful, cool, yet perfectly refreshing body of water. The sun seems to be shimmering at the top of the water, giving us some illumination, but we are feeling so safe and comfortable. And as we do, we begin to realize that we are sinking in our mind's eye more and more deeply into this beautiful and vast body of sea water. We are immersed in this body of water. In this body of water, we are weightless and light, and yet have still gone against the laws of physics to get deeper and deeper, lower and lower into the water, and just float in this beautiful space now. We are immersed when we realize that this body of water we are in is our intention. This body of water is the intention that we have set, and we are immersed in that intention voluntarily and wholly. We've chosen to be immersed because our intention is what we set. as we're in here, in the quiet of this wonderful float in the water, we can feel the revelation, the revealing the presence of a deep and knowing part of ourselves. We feel it as a presence amongst us in this collective ocean of consciousness. And it has something to tell us. This is what I call our divine me. The divine me that is in each of us. That is part of the divine energy, the source of all that is, uniquely expressed through us individually. And that divine me would like to share something with us about the message of the card and our intention. We are immersed in this water, just as we are immersed with our divine me at all times, but also still able to have a discussion and step away so we can hear or experience what the divine me is telling us. So just feel that divine me in this space. Feel or hear or see whatever it does to communicate successfully with you, because it is you. Feel the way it is communicating with you and try to understand what it is saying, which you may not right away. It may take a couple of days before it makes sense. But pay attention to how it is speaking, communicating with you. And the divine me is said what it has to say. And it reminds us that it is always there for us. Have this very kind of discussion with. And it encourages us to return to our physical selves, to do what we need to do, to be who we need to be, to accomplish what we have decided to set out and accomplish. But before we return completely, let's just acknowledge this collective ocean of consciousness. See if you can feel the other souls that are in it from tonight's meditation. Even if you don't know who's here, see if you can sense the souls that are participating. Even if you're listening or participating in the recorded version, all of those souls are here now. participating together. Let us give our greeting of respect and love and understanding. And let us begin to return to our bodies. Just imagine that we're floating gently to the surface. No equipment was needed. No desperation because we can't breathe. We were just here floating. Now we're floating back to the surface slowly. You can see the sunlight beaming through the top of the water. And as we float, and as we break through the top of that water, we suddenly find ourselves back in our bodies. As we break through the top of the water, we are back in our bodies. We can sense the space that we have been in because our breathing reminds us that we never physically left. But this trip into ourselves, into the ocean of our souls, has nourished us, has made us interested in, curious about, and determined to apply this awareness to making our intention come to fruition, to making new intentions, to living with intention. Let's just return to our physical selves with 3 quick breaths together. Inhaling, exhaling quickly. Inhaling again and exhaling quickly. And one more breath, and on that breath you can open your eyes and know that we are right here. We have returned from that lovely little scuba adventure, the adventure in the sea. However we pictured it, there's no right or wrong way. So it was really beautiful, and it was a way for us to all be connected to that deep ocean of self. And so now, if we were in person, once we've all settled and brought ourselves back, I would invite you all to bring up your little slips of paper to me directly, and then I would light them up and send them out. So we're going to do that here. I'm going to send in mine, and I'm going to mix mine with all of yours, which is right here on this little proxy one that says everyone's intentions. So here we go. Here's mine. Here's yours. And ashes to ashes, everything goes. Here it is. So we can let it go. We don't even have to think about it, but we can be aware of what's happening as a result of our making this conscious decision to do this evening. So I'm so grateful. It's springtime. It's gorgeous. So it's a little distracting. It's very warm here in Washington, D.C., a little indication, I think, of the summer to come. But it's so beautiful. I do love this season, and I'm so glad that you've made time to be here, to let that peace begin with you by accessing it through meditation. So important. And as we have talked about or heard in previous weeks, this is about realizing how glorious we are. We all are. So I am grateful that you choose to share that gloriousness with me. Those who are on Zoom, Kathleen and Sue, I love you so much. Thank you for always keeping the flame alive here at our Spin into Stillness. Grateful for that. And I'm going to check out Facebook or YouTube, if you're there, great. If you're not, that's fine too. You can still leave a comment. If you're watching this recorded version, you can still leave a comment and let us know that you've participated, that you're enjoying yourself. However you want to do that. Just keep in touch. I just love when we keep in touch together. So let's keep in touch. And with that, I'm going to bid you a good night and tell you that we're going to meet you back here this week, same time, same channels, whatever one you're watching it on. And I will look forward to that when it happens. Be glorious and let peace begin with you. Good night.